mother would have to take me with her, and she would cut out of school or be smoking in the schoolyard, and then I would go home. Of course, I was 6 years younger than her, and I would tell my mother, Angela's smoking.
And listen, not everybody's going to agree with my decision. I can give a fuck less. If you're in that position, it's you who got to face it, then you do what you need to do.
Little Changolini, he gets to the jail and
steal cars from Maryland and take them to Delaware to a chop shop.
The inside prison in Thailand, as well as what Victor Malarek, the reporter, did to get me out of there.
And I sat down and thought about it for the longest time. Okay, but once I made up my mind, it was about survival. I need to take care of my kids and take care of my family. And when a guy's not being loyal to you, how could you be loyal to him?
Welcome to Chatting with Staxx. Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Mike Koch, right?
Koch.
The way you say it is the way.
Well, Koch is Mayor Koch up in New York, so you're used to that because you up there.
Yeah. So we had crazy technical difficulties. I've been trying to get you on for days now.
Yeah, man.
So you want to introduce yourself to the people, and we'll get going with your story.
My name is Mike Koch. I'm originally from down in Lincoln University, Pennsylvania, still in Chester County, same place that you had with Will Hattrick.
Shout out to Will.
My name, I'm actually living in Delaware now. Been living here for about 10 years. From moving from out there, I kind of lived all over the place, but I'm back in Delaware now, and here to tell my little bit of story, man. Try to entertain you a little bit here and have give you a little insight.
Hell yeah, man. So when you were growing up, what was it like when you were younger?
Man, when I was younger, man, things were good. I mean, I had all kinds of stuff going on. I played baseball. I also went ahead there. Like I said, like you put in the intro there, man, my mom was a bail bondsman. So I got used to being around the criminal activity since I was young. I mean, always in and out with my mom, bailing people out of jail. I was also like helping her do stuff. I was doing, like I said in there, I was doing bounty hunting at the age of 14. So I was picking up fugitives at the age of 14. Like I was going out and picking up adults.
Damn.
So, that was kind of my thing. Like, sports and that was pretty much my childhood, man.
Yo, you guys got to bear with me. I have an echo on this microphone. I don't know. It's crazy.
Is it crazy?
It's crazy. Yeah, man.
Yeah, my fault.
So,
I don't know what's going on there.
when it's not your fault, man. It's not your fault, man. The podcast gods probably. I don't know.
Something's messing it up.
Yeah. What's up, sis? How you doing? Shout out to Stevie Bullets. So, what was your first experience? You said when you were younger, you were getting in trouble.
Oh yeah, man. When I was in trouble, I mean, shit. When I moved out there to Avongrove, where me and Will are from, my first instinct was, I got in trouble for knocking a kid out over a black piece of paper. That's what I did. I beat the hell out of a kid over a black piece of paper, black piece of construction paper.
What grade were you in?
That was 5th grade.
So you started young, huh?
That was 5th grade.
So what was your first dealings with the police?
With the police, my first time getting locked up, I was 14. 14 getting locked up. I got locked up with an ounce of weed. And we were out driving around. Actually, there's a place around here called Devil's Road that actually has some crazy trees and stuff, man. They call it Devil Roads because the back of the story is that they killed a baby back in the 1800s on the road. It's right off of a place called it's up in Greenville, where basically Joe Biden's from, and it's called Devil's Road. And we got arrested back there. Me and a couple of my friends got arrested back there. We had a gun in the car and we had weed. I ended up getting a juvenile probation for that.
Damn. But so you were still doing the bounty hunting thing as that was going on.
Well, yeah, well, I always had my mom, so I knew I was always going to get out. I was always going to get out of jail, man. I was always going to get out as a juvenile, she was going to bail me out no matter what. She was a bail bondsman.
Yeah.
So,
So did you live like that?
So
You
did
lived
you
like,
live like
I'm gonna
that?
get
You
out
lived
anyway,
like,
so I might as well.
I'm gonna get out anyway, so
I mean, when I was younger, it was kind of like, all right. So I was just talking to Will on his podcast. So back when we went to high school, I got there. They wanted to expel me from school. My freshman year. My parents went ahead, got the lawyer, and beat the school, so I didn't get expelled from school over some stuff that we caught some dude doing some shit with a teacher, another male teacher at that. So
Yeah.
was gonna get suspended on that, and ended up, they were gonna expel me. My parents went ahead there and got bail. So my mom always had my back. My parents always had my back. So basically, I could never do any wrong. So I knew I was always gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, my mom always had my back too.
Yeah, my mom always had my back too.
Yeah, man. And
I apologize for the echo,
I
man.
apologize for the echo, man. It's crazy.
I don't know
Yeah,
what's
we're
going on with
freezing
this
out.
technology, man.
Crazy. But yeah, man, I kind of lived like that for a while. Like, I slowed down until my senior year. My senior year, we got arrested for underage drinking like 4 or 5 times, dude, for my senior year with weed, coke, a couple other things.
Yeah.
I actually beat the case twice. I beat 2 cases twice my senior year on the underage and everything else. Ended up catching my first assault charge at 19, and I was out with my mom doing a bail bonds. I was actually bringing the guy back. I ended up beating the dude down a little bit to, bring him back into custody. But my mom used me for basically like, the shit, the rough shit.
As the muscle,
The muscle, yeah.
Yeah, and it was good. And like I said, I think I put in there. My mom passed away when I was 22. Now I had just got out of college, so I did go to college. I did get that through.
I'm sorry for the loss of your mom, man. I can't imagine.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. Well, my mom actually got wrongful death. My dad wanted wrongful death because the actual doctors ended up giving my mom the wrong medication. They actually went there and nipped her heart and tore her aorta apart. So her aorta dissected itself, which is the same thing that happened to John Ritter, and it just dissected the heart to where it killed her kidneys. It killed the kidneys. She had to go on dialysis, and mom was only 46 years old. So, mom was 46, and they ended up getting her in the hospital. They gave her a drug called Soltol, which your body makes the Soltol naturally. It's like something we build every day. Basically, her imbalance was off with the, from the heart arrhythmia. So they went ahead and gave her the Soltol. She ended up dying with 80,000 milligrams of this Soltol in her system. Basically, it exploded her fucking heart. It's basically
like it was just like overload. It's too much.
Just like overload. It's too much.
Yeah, just too much. And it was a fat soluble drug. With dialysis, you need a water soluble drug to get your blood out. So it was never getting into her bloodstream to get taken out. It was just sticking to the fat cells, and basically just killed her. I mean, and my dad went ahead there and got the wrongful death suit. And the sad part is like how you're saying, like, I never really grieved my mom's death. I was the one I had to stay strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
I ended up going ahead there again, doing all the funeral arrangements and everything else. When my dad and my sister grieved, I took care of that. And, it made me angry, dude. I was angry. After my mom died, I was angry.
You probably shouldn't have been the one to have to take care of all that,
Yeah. And, I still haven't really grieved the death. I mean, to be honest, to this day.
Yeah.
And we're talking almost 20 years ago. And, my dad ended up getting a wrongful suit case in Delaware, which, it's kind of hard to do, get a wrongful death suit. He got $5 million. And out of that $5 million, I ended up getting $1 million out of it, which that just told me I'm more of an asshole. I mean, honestly with you.
What was going through your mind when you get all this money? Are you thinking like I'm going all in?
Oh yeah, I was going all in, dude. I was partying my ass off, dude. I mean, when I got that $1 million, dude, I'll tell you like this. we were at $20,000 trip going to like AC, going to Atlantic City, $20,000 in one night. That was nothing. That was just fun. That was just blowing money, doing drugs, fucking hitting, not going to strip clubs like every fucking night, fucking wilding out.
Just throwing money everywhere.
Just throwing money everywhere, dude. Because at the point, the money money was never going to bring my mom back. So really, I'm still sitting there trying to like grieve my mom's death, and I'm just got this money. I'm going to go out there and blow it away. I went out and bought a Ferrari, like driving a Ferrari around.
Did you even care? Did you even care about the money at all?
No, not really.
No.
Not really.
No.
I felt like, hey, I was just going to have fun. We were all having, I got the so-called posse of people that, comes with the money bullshit. And, we were going out, we were going to do things, get in groups, boys being boys, going up there, hanging out with the Italians in Philly, throwing money around it in the late night clubs. I mean, just having balling out to the balls, man, balls to the wall. Balls to the wall.
It's like a whole different life, man, right?
Whole different life, man. Whole different life. Staying in hotels like instead of like staying in a hotel for like one night, like staying in a hotel for like a month and a half. Like just ran 2 rooms out for like a month and a half.
Yeah, like some expensive shit.
Yeah, man. Just having a good old time, man. And it led to getting more drugs. So we were getting, ounces of coke. Instead of somebody going out getting a ball game, we're getting ounces of coke, and we're partying with ounces of coke. I saw people OD and OD on fucking coke. Had to bring a doctor back. A doctor actually OD'd with me on coke. He was a spinal doctor, and he OD'd on coke with us. We had to bring his ass back.
Really?
So that's what kind of parties we were having. We were having crazy parties.
Damn.
And ended up catching another assault charge. After I got the money, I probably went through about $100,000 at this point. And this was probably, I don't know, 2 months into getting this money. I'd already gone through
$100,000 you went through in 2 months?
In 2 months. That's without even, and that's before, we're not even counting buying the Ferrari, because I bought a Ferrari in that point too. So probably $200,000 probably at that point. Probably blew about $200,000, just party and everything else. That's when I caught my assault charge. I ended up catching an assault charge. Went to a bar, ended up being somebody up that I didn't know was associated with somebody. He had associations.
Yeah.
So it kind of led to another problem, which we'll get into that. But it led to something. So I ended up going, and I ended up getting 4 months. 4 months in Gander Hill, which is the jail.
You get arrested for assaulting this person who's associated with these other people.
Yeah, associated with an MC group.
Okay. But so they're not pressing charges against you, right? It's the state.
Yeah, the state presses charges. They weren't pressing charges.
Yeah.
The state pressed charges.
Yeah.
I ended up getting 4 months in there, 4 months in Gander Hill. Now Gander Hill, as far as like your guys' jail, like up in like Connecticut, your guys' jail is up there. I heard they're badass as hell. They're hard as fuck.
I mean, they're bad everywhere. I feel.
Yeah, being locked down. Nobody wants to be locked down. Nobody wants to be anywhere. No. But as far as like, I don't know how much news you get up there, but in Delaware, there's a Smyrna prison, which is that's where the lifers go, is Smyrna. I don't know if you saw or not down there, but they actually had a guard get killed down there. They actually did a riot down there and killed a guard.
I've interviewed people from Maryland.
Everywhere. Maryland, Pennsylvania. Everybody's.
They were DMI. They were with DMI.
DMI, yep. DMI. Dead Man Inc. Yep. So we ended up getting into the Gander. While I'm in there for 4 months, I'm hearing, these guys were looking for you, so on and so forth. I ended up getting out after doing 4 months in there. 4 months was a long time. It felt like long, but you know.
You have any problems in there?
In there, no, not really. I mean, I was doing store. I was buying stores, so you know, I was the one there running store, treating people like, oh, you know, what, a $50, $75 bag every week. Nobody cared, and you know, oh, you need a soup here, man. Give me 2 back here. Oh, you need that?
Yeah.
So I was kind of, you know.
Matter of fact, man, I got a quick story for you if you guys could deal with the echo. I was locked up in prison one time. I'm in, they put you in a holding cell with everybody. After you go to court, you're in the jail. And there was a guy in there, he was a millionaire. He's bonding everybody out, man. I'm like, bond me out. I was already sentenced. Right to stay, man. He got everybody else out. Let's go to prison.
Oh man, you get left in there. He's getting everybody else around you out, and you're sentenced in there. You have to sit.
I'm already sentenced. I gotta go to prison. These guys are getting bonded out.
And at this point here, when I got this assault charge, man, I didn't have my mom to bail me out. Now she still has partners that were bail bondsmen. They bailed me out in the very beginning with the initial bond.
Yeah, so you didn't stay in.
No, I didn't have to stay in there. I didn't have to stay in there until my hearing. I was out within 35 minutes when I originally got arrested. So I got out from doing my 4 months in there. Came back home. Ended up selling a little bit, selling coke and selling some meth. Ended up dealing meth with the same MC group that this guy was associated with.
So they didn't continue the problem. After
well, the problem becomes to I got set up by the MC group, but they were going to go ahead there. They wanted to basically they wanted to get money from me is what they wanted to do. They wanted to push to get the money from me. That was the idea. They were going to, you know, okay, well, if you don't, you know, we're going to kill your girl, dude, if we don't get this much money, like, yeah, they're pushing that kind of level.
And it'll never stop. Once you give them anything, it'll never stop.
Yep. So, and the thing, I ended up going up there, right? They threatened a couple of people I knew. I ended up going to war with them. You know, ended up pulling guns on them, having couple boys. Ended up going to a bar, fighting three of them at a time, trying to get away from these guys, right? Just trying to get away from. Meanwhile, I'm still going down to AC and partying. I ended up partying down in AC with the Kardashians. You know, they were down there. You know, I was partying with all kinds of people. I mean, like when I was doing going to strip clubs and stuff. I mean, I was going back in the back room. You know, they were bringing girls in. Now, I don't know if you guys have the Gold Club. I think Gold Club was up there in Connecticut.
And they have the Gold Club in Hartford.
Yep, and we had the Gold Club down here, and they were bringing in the porn stars and stuff. I ended up hooking up with Jay at DeVille the one night down there. What? That was a fun night. I had a room right next to it. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah, man. It was crazy, dude. And meanwhile, I'm dating the fucking stripper at the time. So. You know, that's who they're threatening to kill because the pagans they were coming in. The MCs were coming into the actual bar. Like they were coming into the Gold Club looking for me. Like, it was causing problems like that. So that's why I went to war with them. Wow. Ended up getting a couple DUIs going back. A couple of DUIs. Now, meanwhile, I get these DUIs, and I decide, fuck it, I'm going to run on them. While I'm still dealing with the MC problem. While this happens, they steal my Ferrari. What? So they stole my Ferrari now.
What?
Yeah, they stole my Ferrari. I ended up getting it back.
Here's the Gold Club in Hartford.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Now the Gold Club down here is gone. They closed that down.
What year was your Ferrari, man?
I got my mom died in 2003. I ended up buying a 99 355 Ferrari. So I had a Spider. I had a black Spider with the tan interior, peanut butter. Still got it.
You still got it?
Still got it.
Oh man. Is it a drop top?
Yeah, it's drop top. Yep, convertible.
I got a picture of it right here.
Yeah, man, it's the car, man.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
nice one.
nice one.
I've been in a 95 Testarossa, man.
No, Testarosas are beautiful. Yeah,
Beautiful car.
beautiful car, dude. Ferraris are beautiful. There's nothing quite like them, man. You can't get that sound in anything. Yep, and that's exactly what my car looks like. Exactly, identical.
It's awesome.
Identical. So, and with
Badass,
that, there, I also bought a Studebaker that I collect with it. That's on my Facebook page there. That's one of my collector cars I take there. Well, we'll get to where I ended up changing around on some shit, because I actually changed my life for the better now. But
I know, man. A lot of people need to listen to this story because they can be in a situation and they can see how far that you came to get where you are.
Yeah, so I ended up going there. The Pagans ended up actually, like, as I said, my mom passed away. My dad had a $500,000 house out in PA, 3 acres of land, on the creek. The MC went there and robbed the house. Now, granted, they robbed the house. Luckily, my sister wasn't there, but I don't think my sister being there would have stopped them. They ended up robbing the house. They ended up tearing the house apart.
They just thought you had a bunch of money hidden or something.
Yeah. They just thought they were going to find money. They were going to go in there. They were going to steal everything they could. They stole all my mom's jewelry and stuff. They were stealing whatever they could to make this money, because basically they were using me for the money, which it was my dumb ass fault for getting tied in with them in the first place.
Yeah.
They ended up stealing a couple handguns from me. Now, I'm sure you know about that. All handguns are marked, unless you go out on the street and buy them. All of them have their own numbers. These ones here did have their numbers. They weren't street signed. They were legit. Going to that, I ended up getting the DUIs. 2 DUIs. You end up doing 3 months again. So I did another 3 months. 3 months, caught an assault charge while I was in jail. I ended up getting another 4 months for that.
You want to talk about that? What caused you to catch the assault charge in prison?
Okay, so I was in there, and I ended up doing a deal with somebody. I said, here, I'm gonna give you 4 soups. You can give me 8 back. You know what I mean? Guy came to me, he paid me back. Cool. Did it again. This time here, he came back and said, oh, let me go ahead and get another 4. Let me get another 4 soups. So I gave him another 4 soups. This guy knew he was getting transferred off that pod when he got my 4 soups.
That's what they do, man.
So we got transferred off the pod. Now we end up going down to the gym, and I end up catching them down the gym. Now you already fucked me over now in there, right?
Yeah.
Now somebody else is gonna think I'm a bitch. They're gonna come there and try to do the same thing you're doing, because I'm a bitch now. Yeah. And I ain't no bitch. I ain't nobody's bitch. So I went down there. I caught them down there at the gym, and I fucked them up in the gym. Now as well as I do, that gets another charge on you.
Yeah.
And I ended up catching the assault charge on that. And again, over soup, but of course.
So it added more time onto your sentence.
Yes. And another 4 months onto it.
While you're sitting there for 4 months, are you kicking yourself in the ass?
Oh yeah, man. Fuck yeah, dude. Because I could have been out. I could have been out doing me. I could have been spending time with with the girl at the time.
Yeah.
Instead I'm sitting inside jail with a bunch of dudes. There ain't no fun sitting inside jail, man. Talking on a phone, man. You gotta fight for a phone just to make a phone call. There ain't no fun with that. That's not
it's crazy, man. That's how they live in there. They're like, oh, you want to make a phone call? You gotta bang out with this dude.
Yeah, and you gotta with the phone calls, you gotta, everybody knows there's a segregation on a phone. You got, this is the black guy's phone. This is the Puerto Rican's phone. This is the white guy's phone. If you get in the wrong line, man, that's a bad thing. You better know how it runs before you go up there and start trying to get over phones. And you're trying to call home. So that's a main thing. And I didn't know all this going in there. I had to learn all this in jail. Like I didn't have somebody telling me this, like from the street, like, oh, you better know all this. You know, I had to
What-
learn this while I was in there.
You got to prison. Was there anyone that told you anything about
I
how
kinda
to
learned
act
it
in
about
prison or what to do?
No, I mean, I just had to learn my own way while I was in there. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
It wasn't
fucked
like
up, man.
anybody told me on the outside. Nobody on the outside was like, "Oh, you're gonna expect this." Only thing they told me on the outside was, you know, when you go in there, you know, say hi to so and so for me.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's like
that's
the
real
last thing
talk.
on your mind, man. You're going to
Yeah, I'm not
prison.
even
You're
thinking
like,
about
I'm
that.
going to say hi to nobody.
Yeah, I'm already thinking, man, what the hell am I getting myself into going in here? Because, you know, I was used to having money on the outside, you know, living, you know, untouchable kind of like with the money, like, and that's what the money makes you do. It makes you think you're untouchable.
And then these guys are still after you, right?
Yeah, these guys are still after me. Yeah, these guys are still after me. I go into jail. I come home. I actually had a buddy of mine driving my Infiniti. I had an Infiniti QX4, and he ended up getting that car stolen at the gas station. All set up with these guys. This is another MC that's tied up with this MC that knew he was my boy. They asked for a ride home from the bar. They're giving a ride home, and they stole the car. And then they went out and robbed a Wawa with this car. So Wawa, I'm not sure like what you guys have up there. You guys have sheets where
It's
you're
like Getty Mart. They have Getty Mart gas station.
Yeah, it's like a Getty Mart, but it's Wawa's pretty big down here. I mean, that's like their big.
Yeah, Cadillac Jack. I know there's a crazy echo. I know.
Yeah, wild, like a Wawa. So they ended up robbing a Wawa. And like I said, I just came home. From doing like 8 months. And I go home and I got the state police waiting for me at my house, asking me, "Oh, who was involved in this robbery?" I knew nothing about it. My boy didn't even tell me while I was in there that this car got stolen.
So this happened when you were in prison.
Yeah, this happened while I was in prison.
Wow.
So I came home and with this car being stolen.
I'm trying to fix this echo, man. So if you see me moving around, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I ended up coming home to this nonsense about this. Now, meanwhile, I'm telling you, they already robbed my dad's house. They already stole all this stuff. Come to find out that they ended up getting the stuff back at the police actually located the guys that stole it. They let them go. They tried turning it around. Yeah, they tried turning it around on me that you know I let them steal the stuff. Does that make sense?
From the house robbery.
From the house robbery, yeah.
Oh my God, man.
And they tried turning around. That I was involved with gambling with them. So they got the stuff back from the house being robbed. Some of it, not all of it, some of it, and. You know, what they didn't sell, what they didn't pawn. And, you know, we're going to get into this too. But they went ahead there and stole it. Now, I ended up going to the police station with my dad because they told him to bring me on down. You know, we got to talk about the stuff. You know, look at the stuff that got robbed, see what's here, just know that it's yours. And I come down there and these guys had told these guys that I was running an underground gambling ring and they're trying to get me for gambling. So that makes them big time. So I got the state police and the county detectives asking me about this gambling ring. And I'm looking at them like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? And they're bringing out paperwork because they had stole the stuff that had my signature on it about this gambling shit. And I'm looking at it like, I signed that? Like, that's not my signature. So they're trying to have that going on.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I ended up dealing with that. That all kind of got thrown out anyway on some other stuff. But, you know, meanwhile, I had this stuff here. So about 2 years passed. Now I'm starting to get my life is starting to get better now. I'm starting to, you know, get this, try to get this car dealership, which I did end up doing. That's how I ended up changing my life, was that I ended up getting involved with cars again. You know, and I ended up having this stuff here with this, now I'm I'm with another girl. I got away from the strip club. I ended up slowing down my spending about this time here. This time here now, like I said, now by the time I went to jail and came home this time, I probably had spent about 350 grand out of $1 million.
What?
And
Wow,
I didn't buy a house.
You had nothing really to show for it, except the car.
I mean, I had a Ferrari, an E55 Mercedes, and I had just got the Studebaker. The rest of the time, and this is before I went in jail. This time, all I did was spend time in hotels, bars, and taking people out and having fun.
Yeah.
Want a birthday party? Staxx, it's your birthday. You want to go out? Here, I'll spend. Here, man. What? We'll go out and we'll drop 30 grand on a birthday party. What the fuck? Who cares? It's just 30 grand. Ain't no big deal. There's more money coming than that.
Yeah, but later on, are you thinking like, damn, I spent all that money frivolously like that?
Yeah, when I came back home and started thinking about it, I ended up going and seeing, like, I ended up getting out of the strip clubs, like hanging out with the strip club. I ended up getting away from that, and I ended up going with another girl, and I ended up realizing, like, damn, and I really did go through this money like that. And I have to, and now I got that. She's got a kid. I have to try to step up for this kid, show him being a man now. Can't be doing that, going out acting stupid. And I got nothing to show for $300,000, $350,000, $400,000 I blew. Nothing to show for it at all. So I'm starting out fresh now with this other girl. And I ended up going ahead and, we ended up getting a place. So I ended up spending money on that, and ended up getting involved with the car dealership. So I ended up opening up my own little car dealership. That was my way of doing something to make the money back that I spent. Now,
that was a good idea, man.
Yeah, it was a great idea. Now, 2 years later, 2 years after I've already been out of this, and all this stuff's going by with the MC group and everything, I'm at my dance house up in Delaware, and it's 4th of July weekend. I'm actually over somebody else's house. They come to my dance house, knock on the door. Yo, we need to see Mike. Where's Mike? Like 4 or 5 cops show. Where's Mike? I was like, I don't know. My dad calls me. He's like, yo, you may not want to come home. I don't know what you do. There's 4 cops here. What's going on? I said, I don't know what I did. I mean, what's going on? So I actually called up the police station and said,
and you've been away from all the drama. You've been away from everything.
All the bullshit for about 2 years at this point. I called up there and ended up calling back up the police station saying, hey, do I need to bring a lawyer in to come in there with me? No, you're just going to come turn yourself in. I'm not going to turn myself in because I don't know what the hell I did.
Yeah.
So I ended up going back to my dad's house. They ended up showing up at my dad's house the 6th of July. The 6th of July, they ended up showing up. And they had six cops show up with another 3 behind them. And they end up going in the house. They're knocking on the door, pounding on the door, telling me pretty much that they're going to come in no matter what. They're going to break the door down if I don't open the door. My dad finally opens the door. My dad gets tackled. My dad's 6'5", like 290, 300 pounds at the time. They're tackling his ass, putting him on the ground. And I'm like, whoa, what are you guys doing? Like, I'm right here.
Yeah,
like,
they don't even know who's who.
Right? And don't even know what this is about. Ended up getting handcuffed up. They end up bringing out there. They actually have the AR-15. They're walking me down the street. Now here I am. I have no idea why I'm arrested. I'm getting walked down the street with a gun on my back. Why is that? I'll keep asking them. Why tell them what? No, we'll talk about this on the police station. We'll talk about this about the police station.
They took the gun that you had and put it on your back?
No. They had guns out. They had guns
out.
Oh,
like they were holding guns to your back.
Yes.
And walking you.
Walk.
Oh,
I ended up getting to the police station, and I'm like, what's going on? They shut the fuck up. Well, the cops are saying, shut up. So they finally come out there, right? And in Delaware, when you get arrested, whether or not they have a court called Court 11 that's always open. It's a JP court. The JP court gets me up there, and they bring me up in front of the video judge, and I'm getting charged with murder. Where am I getting charged with murder from? What murder are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
Murder?
Yeah. So they gave me a $1.4 million bail. I'm calling my dad, like, Pop, my dad's like, I'll bail you out. I'm like, nah, Pop, don't even bother bailing me out because I got to figure out what this is about.
But the whole, so if he bailed you out with $1 million bond, he would get all that money back.
He get all that money back, right?
Yeah.
He get all that money back. I told him, let me go. Now this was a Saturday, so everybody knows you don't get in front of a judge for any kind of bail reduction or anything until Monday.
Yeah.
It always goes the next day. So I ended up going ahead and getting the bail, going there to find out what it is. Now Sunday they have a lawyer comes in to see me in the jail. They have the gun that was stolen from me with a body on it, blaming me with there being a murder.
Wow, man.
And I called my dad in there and said, Pop, let me go ahead. I'm going to figure out what's going on. You know, I said, I got this one beat, Pop. As soon as I get in front of the judge, I'm going to tell the judge, call Pennsylvania State Police and go ahead there and look. And that gun's been reported stolen.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. So I go in front of the judge at the Newcastle, in front of the regular judge, tell him right there, bail hearing. I tell him, Your Honor, go check out and make sure and see that gun's been reported stolen in Pennsylvania. He said, give me 15 minutes recess. They wanted me to call to let this guy go. So meanwhile, I'm in there in jail. There's a newspaper ad or my picture in the newspaper being walked down the street.
Oh man.
With a gun, with a murder case. That I'm going in there and they're like, yo man, I saw Sunday's News Journal. I'm coming out of my cell and Gander. People were saying, hey, oh man, I got you in the newspaper, man. I see your picture. And I'm like, yo, I don't even know what the hell I'm in there for. And they know about it before I do. So that's how I get in front of the judge, find out about this gun charge. I get the gun, get this murder rap taken off because of this gun being stolen. So they finally let me out. Now they never did their homework. They never did their homework on this gun being stolen. So it was a wrongful arrest with slander because they did it in front of all my neighbors.
Bro, and then they put an article out too, you said, right?
Put an article out, yeah. So right now I'm working on that. That's still working on that. And that's from 2013. I'm still working on that case.
And that's almost 10 years old, man.
10 years old, man.
Yeah. And I'm working on that's how long the state can push back a lawsuit. That's how long they can push that back. 10 years.
Shit.
Because I'm still trying to get out of that. So I've already changed my life around. I've already been out of that element, trying to get, stay away from, going back to jail over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm back in there with this murder rap. Now you got me slandered to where I'm always looking at it. Meanwhile, I still had my when this all happened, I was still on probation in Pennsylvania for the DUI I had. Because I had one in Delaware and one in Pennsylvania. They gave me a 5 years probation in Pennsylvania. I was on year number 2 of being out. What did they do? They came and violated me because I just had police contact in Delaware. They violated me in Pennsylvania, and ended up doing 8 months.
How much time did you have suspended?
For the
probation.
Probation. Time suspended. I had 10 years on the DUI because I hit 2 parked cars.
10 years suspended?
I had five years suspended, 5 years probation. 5 suspended, 5 years probation, and then I did the 3 months. I did 4. I ended up doing the 7 months in Delaware. And ended up doing 2 months or 3 months in Pennsylvania for the DUI. So I ended up doing that. Now I ended up going. Now this right here, they just violated me on this charge that wasn't even my charge. I get violated on that. So they violated me in Pennsylvania.
Oh my God. And they're not going to go back. They're not going to go back and look and say, "Oh, it was a mistake. We're going to reinstate your." Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
They violated me.
Wow.
No, they violated me. So they ended up suspending.
Wow, bro.
They ended up suspending my All right, so I got the probation. I went there. I told them it was a mistake. They didn't give a fuck. They ended up giving me 8 months in Delaware County, where that's where Will was talking. If you remember, he was talking about Delaware County Prison up there before he was going upstate. So Delaware County, I ended up doing 8 months in there for this violation, waiting to try to get out. They finally released me on the, I think that was in August. So 8 months later, I get released on this case due to the fact that they want to go ahead there and reinstate my probation now, to where they were going to suspend, because I did 8 months and it equaled up to 3 years. So now I came back out with 1 year probation. And like I said, I'd already straightened up my life. I'd already been doing good. I already had this dealership going, everything else. Now, luckily, my dad was able to take over that, so I didn't lose that while I was in there. But I ended up getting that straightened out.
That's a lot to go through, man.
Yeah, man. And all that over some, some bullshit, man. Trying to have fun, man. Being stupid.
Did it continue? Did it continue with these guys?
Actually, no. Actually, what I want to get to is that, come to find out that the gun that they got, the reason why they got that gun, because one of the dudes was playing Russian roulette and shot himself in the head and killed himself.
What?
Yep.
Damn, man. So they tried to charge you with murder because of that.
Yep.
That doesn't even make sense, man.
Yep, they found the gun. Well, no. There was a body on that. No, the gun was used for something else down there. They found another body that they had used that gun on.
Yeah.
But the only reason why they came up with that gun, being in their house, they got the gun from in this guy's house that had stolen the gun
after he had killed himself. So then they find the gun and they see a body's on it. They charge you.
Exactly. It's my name. It's in my name. They never put it down in the paperwork that it was stolen. Yes, exactly.
And then the guy, because the guy who's dead can't say anything.
Guy who's dead can't say nothing, and he shot himself. Now, and the funny part was they ended up finding all the guns that were stolen from my house, because I had 4 guns stolen. I had my 2 of mine. I had one of my mom's, and I had a shotgun stolen. They ended up finding all 4 at this guy's house. Didn't put any of it together.
So then by this time, though, you're a felon, right?
Yeah.
So you can't even have these guns.
Nope.
They're already gone.
Yep. They were already reported stolen, so they were already out of my hands.
Wow, man.
So I ended up. That's how they got the gun. So when you're asking, they still continue with these guys? No, it ended with that. It ended with that because their whole thing reamped themselves, and the ones that were involved with me, they all had a falling out with each other.
Yeah.
But they, as far as, I guess greed or whatever between them, I don't know. I didn't get into that with that. I don't know.
Shout out to Bruno, man. What's up, Bruno? Bruno says, good evening, Staxx and Mike.
Yeah, what's going on, man? How you making it out? But
so if anyone has any questions for Mike.
Yeah.
And I know there's a terrible echo. Bear with me.
Yeah. So I had that sat right there. Their whole organization fell apart, but their organization is still here. But those ones that were involved in that fell apart.
Yeah. A lot of times they rebuild. Rebuild,
exactly.
Yeah.
And these ones that were doing it to me, they were gone. They're out. They're out now. So that all died with that. As far as, once he killed himself, that was it. So that was the end of that with them. But I still had to go ahead now and rebuild. I had already found like I was talking to Will and Castle the one day. It was all about, I found God in all this stuff, you know what I mean? That's how I got my relief from all the crime was like, I met a good girl. I had to be there for her and her kid. I had to get my shit together.
Did you go to church before when you were younger?
I mean, I went to church when I was younger. But once my mom died, I kind of lost that hope. You know what I mean? That was, I kind of got out of that, and I was more, I just was into more having fun, partying, dude, like having fun. That's what I was trying to do. Like,
Yeah, but do you think?
I guess I was
do you
trying to spend the
think
money.
You think
from you going to church at a young age, do you think that instilled something in you?
Yeah,
Or when you got older?
Absolutely. Yeah, it gave me something. It gave me back to having that actual hope again after I was able to go ahead there and see that I was messing up. You know what I mean? Once I saw I was really fucking up, like, you know, I thought the money would make me invincible, dude. I mean,
A lot of people think that, man. A lot of people think you get money, it'll change your whole situation. And some people it will. But a lot of people it won't.
I'll tell you what, for me, just like Notorious Big said, more money, more problems. I had more money and more problems.
Yeah.
And you know, I know I brought a lot of the problems upon myself. So I can't really point my finger at anybody else and blame anybody else. I brought the problems upon myself. But
so if you stayed away from the drugs and all that shit, you probably would have been fine.
Probably been fine. Probably would have been fine, man. You know, I could have still been, you know, I still have the Ferrari. You know, I could still live the lavish life, but I wouldn't have been involved. I wouldn't have been doing the jail time. I wouldn't have got tied in with the problems with the MC. I wouldn't have got arrested on a murder rap because, you know, as well as I do, even though that's thrown out, they still, if they want to, they can still go back and find it.
Yeah.
So
the rest don't go away, man. The rest is there forever.
Yep, and they'll notice that, and you know what? Get your life right, and still trying to go get a job. Guess what? They're going to hold that over you no matter what. If somebody wants to hold something against you, they'll hold it against you. They can find it. You know, it doesn't go away.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah, you're right, man.
100%
and I mean,
right,
you know,
100% right, bro.
I know I messed up, and you know, I found God to go ahead there and fix that all up for me. You know, I mean, He didn't fix all my problems, but He made it so, you know, made it easier. You know, made it so we can really get this. You know, I can see where I went wrong, and you know, that's about the only thing I can really preach to anybody out there. You know, that has a problem or ends up going through something. The money's not going to change it. The money will never bring that person back. You know, you have to know that off the bat, but you know, think about it without spending it all and being stupid and getting involved in some dumb stuff, because it's easy to do. It's real easy to do. And you can turn around. Like I said, you know, I came from my parents and my mom my dad was a electronic engineer at Siemens. He made tons of money. He was always up in Connecticut. What's it starts with D? Dayton, Connecticut. Is that it? Right there? Yeah. Right there by
Danbury?
It's the same place where they have the big, huh?
Danbury?
They got the big Danbury. There it is, Danbury. My dad was always up there for DuPont and Dade, and also for working up there. My mom had her own bail bonds business. You know, I had everything back in me where I could have not been going and getting in trouble. I let all that go because, you know, I ended up acting stupid. You know, I thought I was invincible completely.
Hey man, you got a chance now. You got a chance now to keep continuing to do the right thing and be an inspiration for other people, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing, man. And you know, I'm always trying to go there and help out one of my friends. You know, you'll find out when you get the money. If you get money like that, you find out that not everybody's really your friend, dude. You get a lot of people that are associated. And I'll tell anybody, dude, if you really got...
Find that out now, man.
If you got three good friends that are real... Yeah, man, if you got 3 real friends, you did good. 3 real friends in this world that you know you can count on, you're doing pretty fucking good. That's being rich. Because you got a lot of backstabbers out there. A lot of people that only hang out with you for, you know, because you got some, or you know,
what you can do for them.
Yeah. Yep. What you can do for them. You know, and when you actually come out there and you tell somebody you're not spending any more money and you're not doing this,
see how many people stick around.
Yep. The ones that stick around are your real friends. They're the ones that you should have their back no matter what. They're the ones you look out for. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I had when I was out blowing the money, dude, I have 20, 30 people out with me. When I stopped going out and stopped doing anything, dude, I got 4 that are real. that actually stood around me.
Yeah, it's hard to
And wished me
navigate
well.
life now, you know?
Yeah. And people that actually went the real, like, you know, when I had that stuff going down with the MC, they all ran. Nobody had my back. Nobody stayed there and wanted to go involved with that.
No.
Nobody.
No.
So it was, you know, it was me. And, you know, I had, like I said, I had 3 real friends that stayed with it. And they're still friends today. I still talk to them today, you know, 8 years later, 9 years later. And they're always
man,
be
it's
there,
good.
you know
You
what
got
I mean?
people like that in your corner.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, you got to, but that's the main thing. You got to realize not everybody's there for you. And it takes a long time to realize that people, you know, people aren't always real. People are fake. A lot.
There's quite a bit of those out there.
Yeah. It takes
It's all
time.
good,
It takes
man.
time, you know.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, man. So, you know, that's what I like to do. I want to be an inspiration to people. I want to show people, you know, you can make something out of your life. You know, anybody needs a job, I'll give them a job. Anybody needs something, I'll help them out. You know, I'll give you my shirt off my back, man. You know, to show what it is. But once you spit in my face, that's it. You know, and I'll do that for anybody. Anybody that wants something, that needs some help, I'll help them out. You know, I go up to Philly and give out stuff to the homeless people. You know, and they're more gracious for it now than anybody else. I'll take them up. I'll take them out some hot meals.
I help
They're
people
more gracious
every
than
day,
anybody.
man. Every day.
Yeah.
It feels good to help another person and not expect anything in return. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'll go up there and give them blankets and stuff, and they're more appreciated than somebody that you rode with through your whole life.
Yeah.
So
I know what you're saying.
And I'll give anybody anything they want. I'll help anybody out. You know, I'm probably, you know, I like to be that guy that helps people out and makes them feel good. And that's why, you know, I want to be an inspiration, like try to show that you can do something. You don't have to go live this life anymore. You don't have to live that life. You don't have to be doing all the drugs and everything. The drugs ain't going to do anything. Went to rehab. I did go to rehab.
Did that help you a lot? Did it help you when you went?
The first one didn't do anything. The second one did. Second one helped me out. The second one's what really helped me get my mind clear out. I think the first one I didn't really hit rock bottom. My rock bottom was, you know, I still had money in the bank and you can't tell me shit. And the second one, I realized that if I'm doing the same thing over and over again, that's insanity.
Yeah, man.
It's insanity. I can't keep what I'm doing is not working. So
that's why what I was doing wasn't working, man. I had to do the total opposite. And that's the way I live today, man. And people don't like it out there. Too bad.
Yeah, too bad for them, because you know what? You're gonna do what's good for you. You gotta think about you first. And that's the main thing. I was putting everybody else before myself.
I always come first over here, man.
Well, that's how I am now. Now I always come first.
Yeah.
But before I was putting everybody else in before me. So now I've changed that, you know, the last 9-10 years, I changed all that, man, to be where I am today. And, you know, I'm trying to do the best for everybody.
It's commendable, man. Definitely is. You're an inspiration to younger people out there that they can change their life and go from what you've been through to where you're at.
Yeah, man, trying to do the best. And, man, like I said, you know, right now I'm talking to you from the hospital. Been in here for, you know, a month and a half now. But, you know, I had to get some bones taken out of my foot. God gracious me by not having to lose my feet and just have to take some bones out. But, you know, it's good. And, you know, I'm here for anybody that needs any help or ever wants anything, you know. And I appreciate you having me on your show today.
Yeah, man. I definitely want to do this again because this echo is killing me, bro.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm gonna work on the tweaks, and I'm gonna definitely have you on again, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hopefully I'll be home and we can do something big and we can do you know, show you some cars this time and, you know, do something that way.
Man. Hell yeah, show me the Ferrari, man.
Dude, I love to, man. Hey, I'm not afraid to come to Bristol and get it. I drove the Ferrari back from North Carolina. I have no problem.
Hell
doing
yeah,
that.
man.
Hell yeah, man.
That right
I'll have
there,
you and Will
what,
come out, man. I'll show you guys my part of town.
Oh, hey, me and Will will do it. I don't see why not. I'm supposed to be hanging out with Will here pretty soon when I get out of here, and I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely, man.
Tell myself what's up.
And Will's a good dude, man. You'll enjoy me and Will.
I interviewed him. That's how I met you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. And I think it'd be great to hang out up there, man. Bring the Ferrari up, let you go for a ride. Hell, I'll let you drive it. Why not?
Awesome.
Be awesome.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, man. I'm with it.
So,
yo, man, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate this. And do you want to give anyone a shout out before we go?
You know what? I'm gonna shout out to Will. I'm gonna shout out for somebody I know they're not watching, but Tiffany. You know, shout out to everybody in the room here that's there. I appreciate you watching. It was great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody needs anything, that Sasso know he's got my number.
Definitely, man. I'll leave a link for your Facebook and your email.
Yeah.
And anyone want to check out his page, go check him out. And if you want to get started with Facebook, maybe you could start or YouTube. Are you gonna start a YouTube?
Yep, absolutely.
Start a YouTube?
I'm gonna start a YouTube. I'm thinking about doing that. I wanted to do start the YouTube. I was thinking about getting in with you and Will, and trying to tweak that a little bit and start somewhere I can have some people on that that are inspirations to me, and introduce you to some of them.
Yeah.
I got a great neighbor that I love to introduce to you guys. I mean, he's done the Holy Land Walk and everything, and he sees the good in everybody, no matter what. Man. And I think he'd be a good guy to talk to anybody.
Hell yeah. Sis says, good luck, Mike. Have a happy future.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Cadillac Jack says, come back again for sure.
Absolutely.
Sis says, good show.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to have you back on so we can get all, I want to have a smooth one without this echoes,
Yeah, hopefully one that we can get on there at the right time, and it doesn't give us all the technical problems.
Yeah, man. But yo, thank you again, man. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And I'm sorry for the Staxx two times. But I'll see you guys again. Peace. Thanks, man.